The making of the Ranglong Baibul, story of Ranglong Baibul Translation Committee and Translation Work at a glance. The Ranglong accepted Christianity in the year 1958, and it has now been almost 70 years. Notwithstanding the joy and blessings from the release of the Ranglong New Testament, that we were continued as a believing community without complete Bible in our language. Years passed when our elders approached the Bible Society of India, Zambu Auxiliary under Mizoram Branch, and submitted an application for the translation of the Bible into Ranglong. However, BSI had the opinion that the Ranglong were still not in a position to undertake the project. While we are searching, the application was not accepted. While we are searching for an agency to adopt Ranglong as a translation project, in the meantime, God has already spoken to people at BI to look for the Ranglong. It was just a matter of time before our paths crossed. It was in the early 1987 that U. Govind Singh, the then coordinator of BI India, conveyed to Ditluamoni that BI is looking for communities who would want the Bible translated into their language. Ditluamoni Ranglong communicated this message to Reverend Finalization Ranglong, then a pastor serving in the district pastorate under DLBA. The DLBA's Bible committee unanimously agreed to go ahead with the Ranglong Bible translation work. The committee appointed Reverend Finalization Ranglong to carry out the Ranglong Bible translation work. So, on the morning of March 26, 1987, that Finalization and Mr. Ditluamoni set up to head to the Ranglong Bible translation workshop after a prayer. In the course of the translation, the team also managed to publish two significant handbooks, namely Ranglong Anjuna, Ranglong Alphabet Learner, and Siman Putla, the story of beginning. Written Review Committee also was also formed as advised by the BIS. The chief translator worked hand in hand with the written review committee, with a view to inculcate appropriate manner and reading and understanding the Bible. Ranglong literacy work was also carried out, which led to the release of the Ranglong Alphabet Learner handbook called Primer Book on March 1992. Reverend Finalization, chief translator, contacted Black River around 1996 during the course of the translation work, which was detrimental to this most compelling ministry. Ranglong received their first ever New Testament Bible, Dan Kitata, on 2nd day of February 2003, which was released by the BIRS at Jairam Baptist Church, Assam. This was the same church where the fasting prayer was held in the year 1974 or to 1975 to petition the Lord for a Bible in Ranglong. Our joys knew no bounds when the Ranglong were filled with gratitude to God and His word through BI. After the release of the Ranglong New Testament, Reverend Finalization continued translation of the Old Testament a very brief period. In the wake of chronic illness catching up on him, the responsibility to continue the translation work was handed over to Mr. Chandan Ranglong. However, due to household-related challenges and the enormity of the task, Mr. Chandan Ranglong neatly bowed out of the virtuous commitment. Therefore, the work of the Ranglong Holy Bible translation was on hold for a complete 8 years. Therefore, the work of the Ranglong Holy Bible translation was Reverend Finalization Ranglong drew up his feet to the bed and breathed his last on April 18, 2011 in his residence in Lightbourne. Awakened from the long latent period, the decision to resume the Ranglong Holy Bible was passed in the DLDA General Assembly of 2011. The association appointed Reverend Peter Ranglong as the chief translator anonymously. Reverend Peter Ranglong enthusiastically took up the baton. In the same year, after having talks with BIS, Troy Manning, chief consultant of BIS, visited Joykan Baptist Church and signed an agreement with RBTC to continue the translation of the Holy Bible into Ranglong. DLDA fully deputed Reverend Peter Ranglong to the crucial task which he began from the year 2012. It is a great pleasure to convey our gratitude towards BIS once again that despite the colossal amount of work with the Bible translation work alone, they think beyond to perquisite the Ranglong with many other Ranglong literature work, namely Genesis, trial version, the story of Moses, Ranglong alphabet learners second edition, Ranglong writers handbook, and Ranglong dictionary. We are thankful to Mr. Ruben Ranglong, chief of the Ranglong community, for sponsoring the publishing of the second edition of Ranglong Horok and Jokut now. Reverend Peter completed draft of the Old Testament in 2018, and by the end of 2020, all consultant checks were finished. Quality checks began in November 2020 and went until May 2024. The final work of the reading through the whole Bible was undertaken by the RRC, and volunteers in 3 groups from February 21st to July 15, 2024. The biggest chunk of the quality checks was taken up by spelling checks. Errors and inconsistencies in spelling and word formation had accumulated over the years. This challenge arose from having the very helpful Ranglong writers and book a little too late in the life of the project. The writers and book was prepared with the help of BI linguistic consultant Dr. Connie Champion and Ms. Beverly Boston. Over years of linguistic research and development, it lays out rules and guidelines for how to write Ranglong in a most scientific manner. The literacy department also helps Reverend Peter develop a Ranglong dictionary that can be used through an apps. And when our primary consultants sent word to RBTC in January that we might yet need to push off dedication to 2025, our hearts sank. This was going to be a huge setback and a big letdown to eager Ranglong Christians who await their Bible. Nonetheless, BI consultant Mr. Alex Wheeler and his wife Elizabeth Wheeler, who is the formatting and design manager, along with Luke, our primary consultant, and Reverend Peter Ranglong and RBTC, with sheer audacity rose up to the challenge, put their physical, mental, and technical capacities to overdrive working overtime for months, and wrapped up the work in July, leaving enough time for Peter and RBTC to continue with the making of the Ranglong dictionary. With the prayer and support of all the Ranglong people, for real, inconceivably yet triumphantly today, November 30th, 2024, at Northern Baptist Church, the long-awaited Ranglong Holy Bible and Ranglong Dictionary is released. Praise be to God. Amen. Thank you.